It's a pleasure to have our friend, Chairman Jim Jordan, on the program. Been a while. Jim, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing fine, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Probably exhausted, aren't you, from all this legislative...
Yeah. Well...
How in the hell can you accommodate everybody when you got about a 3-vote majority? I mean, I don't know who the hell would want to be Speaker of the House, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's a tough job, and I think this bill's as good as it's going to get. The vote was 50-50 in the Senate. The vice president had to come break the tie, so you're going to make changes to it in a conservative direction when the 2 of the 3 who voted against it in the Senate were more moderate senators in Senator Collins and Senator Tillis. So I think this bill is pretty darn good, and we should pass it. And I think that's going to happen today. I really do. We'll just have to kind of wait and see.
Every now and then, Congressman, we have what we call Levin surge around here to load up the calls on Capitol Hill, and we began one about an hour ago because, look, here's the bottom line. The bottom line is we need these tax cuts, or we're going to have a massive increase. We need to give support to our brave ICE and Border Patrol people, and there's a lot more in there that's good. Do we want more cut? 100%. But where are you going to do it? Who's going to do that? I mean, honestly... Right. The point is, you're not going to get it in the Senate. You don't have enough votes in the House. If we had a 10-20 vote cushion, maybe 3 or 4 more in the Senate, then I get it. We're barely holding on by our teeth here to get this done.
I totally agree. And Mark, this is a good bill because the Democrats hate it. And the reason they hate it is because it actually empowers people. It empowers Americans. It empowers families. It says to families, guess what? We're going to let you keep more of your money. We're going to cut your taxes. We're not going to have taxes on tips. Hardworking people who work for tips. So it's empowering families. It says to moms and dads, guess what? We now have in the tax code a provision that's going to promote school choice because we think you should decide where your kid goes to get the best education. It says to able-bodied people in our welfare system who are getting your money, your listeners' money. It says, guess what? You're now going to have to work if you want to get that money. That's good for taxpayers. That's good for our economy. It's good for that person. And as you point out, Mark, we did this in our committee. It allocates resources so that we keep the border secure. The border that President Trump's already made secure, we keep it secure by having more ICE agents, more detention spaces, money for the wall, money for judges, money for flights to repatriate people. That's all in this bill, and we're not going to vote for it after Senator Johnson, Senator Lee, Senator Cruz, Senator Lummis, Senator Scott, conservatives voted for it in the Senate? You got to be kidding me. Of course we're going to vote for this thing. It makes good sense.
And the way this system works is, like it or not, we, the people, have sent these people to Congress. And we're stuck with some of these people because some of the knuckleheads in our citizenry voted with them. And wouldn't it be great if we could wave a magic wand and say, you know what, my way or the highway? So I watched some of these guys. Some of them are my friend, Congressman, or my friend. And I said, you can't battle your way out of a paper bag. I mean, you're there long enough. You know what we're dealing with here. So I feel like many of them should get out during the election cycle and help us elect more conservatives. Some of them, they keep pulling in money for themselves. They're in relatively safe districts. They call my show and say, please, can I come on? I have a better idea. Let's get some more of our guys elected so we can make more cuts, right?
Well said. Well said. Here's the other thing I think is important for us all to remember, and you understand this. Momentum is important. It's important in sports. It's important in politics. And right now, President Trump it's a wave of momentum. We've seen the numbers, his approval numbers amongst Republicans and base voters and all kinds of Americans are off the charts. We just had the successful operation in Iran. He just went to NATO, got those countries to ante up more for the defense of our country and their countries. And of course, we have a secure border that he's done in the first 7 months of his presidency. And now we're going to stop a bill that cuts taxes for American families? Are you kidding me? So I think we need to remember that as well. It makes so much sense just to pass this thing. Now we got some other things we got to deal with. I get that. We'll get with them down the road. But let's get this thing passed and let the president sign it on the 4th of July, for goodness sake. That'd be great.
And this really is a pro-growth bill. That's the focus. And that, like you put out this morning, and that was very Reagan-esque, too. You say, look, we need to slash these taxes. We're going to reindustrialize America. we need to have a massive economic, expansion in these tax cuts, most of which go to the middle class. And these tax cuts are what are going to look. Kennedy did it, and Reagan did it, and Trump did it before. They always work to grow the economy, don't they?
Yeah, whenever you let regular people keep their money and not give it to the bureaucracy here in D.C., not give it to the government agencies, whenever you give it to the people, it's better spent. It's good for them, their future, their goals, their dreams, their kids, and our economy and our country. That is just fundamental Republican principle, but it's the truth. So, again, I can't believe we're and I don't think we're going to. I think it's going to pass sometime today, maybe late tonight still, but I think it is going to pass, and it should pass because it's good for the country.
Let me remind my listeners, this is a Levin Surge, 202-224-312, and that's the Capitol Hill line. They're going to ask you for the name of your senator, congressman. Tell them the name of your congressman. Leave a very polite voicemail, if there's any room left on the voicemail, and tell them to vote for the Trump bill. That's what you want at time. I want to overwhelm these lines. I want to really push in, because every now and then we got to get involved at the grassroots. That's what we do on this show, and make something happen. And that's us. It's our country. We got to make it happen. Now, you make a great point. Wouldn't it be strange indeed if it's the Republicans who blunt Trump's massive progress in the first 6 months? That's insane, is it not?
I mean, sometimes I think we have to be careful that we don't miss the forest for the trees here and understand that in the big picture sense, look at the momentum that we are generating as a party, that President Trump under his leadership is generating for our party, for our country. I don't think we want to stymie that in any way. So, like I said, let's get this passed. We can move on to some other things we got to deal with. I get all that, but this makes so much sense to me because again, Democrats hate it. They hate this bill, and that should tell us a lot. Not one single Democrat is supporting it. Conservatives in the Senate, conservatives in the House, conservatives like Mark Levin are supporting it. That's why it makes sense, I think, as well, to pass this thing.
We're here with our friend, Jim Jordan. You've been in Congress how long now?
18 years.
Is it getting dumber in there or what? The rhetoric that these people use now on the left, it's like thousands of people are going to die. And I'm going, what the hell are these fools talking about? What the hell are these fools talking about? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's not even true. Somehow, you're making people work who are getting public assistance, a work requirement for able-bodied men, able-bodied adults. Somehow that's kicking people off and taking health care from them. It makes no sense. But I always say, not all Democrats are crazy, but the left that controls their party is. And you can go issue by it is crazy to defund the police. It is crazy not to have a border. It is crazy to let men compete against women in sports. It's crazy to blame President Trump for the riots in L.A. because he sent troops out there to stop the riots in L.A. And you can just it's crazy to let a Chinese spy balloon fly clear across the country and then shoot it down. I think Mark Levin would have probably shot it down before it went across the country. I know Trump would have. I know I would have. I mean, it's like, it's like, so every position the left takes.
And Jim, I hate to say it, I've got enough weapons to do it too. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the position they took on the successful operation in Iran. God bless you, Mark, for what you've been doing, how you've been standing up for the truth, for the state of Israel, our best friend. I was asked this question. They said, "What was what we did in Iran, the successful mission, was that for strategic reasons or moral reasons?" I said it's for all the above. This is a special relationship between our great country and that amazing country. It is truly, if it's Judeo-Christian, it's cultural, it's religious, it's moral, it's strategic. It's all of that. And the left to critique that in the way they did, God bless you for what you've done. But again, it just highlights every crazy position, the entity or the people who've now taken over the Democrat Party, the radical left, every position they take is just that crazy.
And you notice how these Democrats, even in New York, they're walking back from this guy, this Gillibrand. Oh, I'm sorry if I criticized you for global intifada. Excuse me. What the hell happened to you? I mean, it's not. What do you apologize? They've lost their moral compass completely, Jim.
Yeah, it's because it's unfortunate. One of the great major parties in our country, the greatest country ever, is now controlled by the radicals, controlled by the left. That's the energy in the party, and people who you would think know better, probably do know better, I think are in many ways afraid to in any way critique the radical element that has so much energy and influence in their party.
You predict this thing will pass and pass within 24 hours, and I mean, predictions are predictions,
I do.
But you get a feel for this.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think the number of people who said they were going to vote for against the rule, I think that number is getting smaller. I think the president's had a number of conversations with people, the speaker and others have had as well. So I do think we're going to get this passed. And as we talked about in the previous segment, I think this is just good for the country, good for American families.
And we're getting this grassroots movement. This audience is activist, like no other audience in radio.
Yep.
I'm being very honest.
Yep.
That's what we do here. Jim Jordan, God bless you, my friend. Hopefully I'll see you one of these days.
You too.
All right.
Yeah,
take care of yourself.
Keep up the great work, Mark. We really appreciate it. Take care, man.
Thank you. God bless.